And now we move on to Indiana. Indiana, their over-under is set at 7.5, same as Michigan. Had a really good year last year, maybe the best year Indiana's ever had. Finished in the top 15, might have been the top 10. I can't remember exactly. Went 6-2, I believe. Really good season by Indiana standards. They returned Mike Penix after his third consecutive season-ending injury, which is obviously a problem. But a dynamic quarterback, if not super efficient, puts up big numbers a lot of the time. Had a really good game against Ohio State last year. Made their secondary just look terrible. Really good skill talent on offense. I really like the receiving core. Ty Freifogel is a beast. They also have Miles Marshall, who's pretty good. DJ Matthews Jr., a transfer from Florida State, highly ranked coming out of high school. We'll see if he can actually live up to that. Peyton Hendershot is a veteran tight end there. Didn't quite live up to expectations last year, but I believe he can probably return to what he was before, where he was knocking on the door of all conference type of things. Also, the running backs, they brought in Stephen Carr from USC, the former five-star recruit, and Samson James returns, who was a pretty good. He was a four-star recruit of his own. So, running back is one of the positions that Indiana has always recruited pretty well, especially under Tom Allen. Their offensive line was a problem last year, and that's a little bit unusual. It seemed like in previous years they could always rely on having a pretty solid offensive line. Now, a year ago they did lose their strength and conditioning staff to Alabama, which tells you a little bit something about how good they were. So their offensive line really needs to improve. They got to keep Penix healthy. I was not super impressed by his backup last year. I can't remember his name. Pretty highly recruited player that transferred from Utah. Was pretty efficient, but averaged like 5 yards per attempt. Jack Tuttle, that's his name. I'm sorry, I forgot. But overall, I feel pretty good about their offense. They were a recipient of pretty good luck last year. We all saw the Penn State game where it felt like they were outplayed for the entire game and still found a way to win. And I know we can talk about the 2-point conversion that may or may not have actually been a 2-point conversion. The defense is really good. Last year they were really good at forcing turnovers, and here's one of my question marks, because typically turnovers are not super predictive to keep going the next year. It's kind of a luck thing as much as anything. But it does feel like that's sort of what they strive to do. They're not necessarily going to get a lot of 3-and-outs and all that, but they are going to try to turn you over. So that way they might not have the most efficient defense, but they are going to be aggressive. Tywan Mullen, All-American at cornerback last year, absolute beast. Reese Taylor and Jalen Williams are also good cornerbacks. They have good corners, like maybe the best in the conference. Micah McFadden was, I think, a third-team All-American linebacker last year. He's back. Devin Matthews was a really good safety last year. So there's definitely talent there. I'm not sure if it's quite what they need. I'm not sure if the ball is going to bounce their way quite as often as it did last year. Again, I am somewhat of an Indiana fan myself, so I might have some rose-tinted glasses on. What do you think Indiana will be this year?
So I have them just under. I have them at 6-6, and I feel bad doing it because again, I think Penix is probably going to be he's probably the best quarterback in the conference right now. Like, give CJ Stroud the end of the year, we'll have a different debate then. Currently, we're going to take in front of Penix. Like, you're not. Like, that's the guy you really like. And health is an issue. You mentioned like the two big weapons that he has back, the big name, which is Freifogel and Hendershot. Like what they have. Like, I really do like what they have. Now, I'm torn on it. I think the number is really good. First off, the number is really, really good. They do have they play in their non-con. They do play Cincinnati. I love Cincinnati. I think that's a loss for them. I did. It maybe they sneak one out against Minnesota or Michigan and get to over, and it could easily happen. Indiana's a team. I think they're kind of like Northwestern. Like, we're going to underrate them, and they're just going to laugh at us every year because they're going to go past that because they have really good coaches. I think they outcoach people. I think more than anything else, their defense opportunistic is the word with that. They're opportunistic, and they did get lucky last year. That ball was out of bounds before it hit it against Penn State. That ball was absolutely out of bounds. I was rooting for Indiana. I was just praying that he got in there, but that ball was out of bounds. There's no doubt about it. There was no way that was good. Just an incredible athletic play though from just unbelievable. So say all that to say, no, I have them under, have them at 6-6, but am prepared to be made to look like a fool for that thing.
Yeah, so I'm following my heart here, not my head. I'm taking the over. We've now differed on Michigan and Indiana here, both at 7.5. You're probably the smarter one here. I'm following more my heart, which is maybe a problem. But I do like this Indiana team, and I think really what it comes down to is I don't trust Jim Harbaugh, and I trust Tom Allen. And I do feel like he is going to get the most out of this team. He always has great defenses wherever he goes. And I really like their offensive skill position talent, including the quarterback. I think there's only one game on their schedule they can't win, which is Ohio State. And even that, like, they always scare Ohio State. They never quite pull it out, but they always at least scare them. The rest of their games, I think they are capable of winning. They won't win them all, but they only have to get to 8-4, which I realize is a really high number for Indiana, just historically. But I think this might be the best team in Indiana history right here. I'm picking the over, not super confident. This is a really fun team to root for. If you are a fan out there who needs a team to root for this year that does not have national title expectations or anything, but is just a fun team to watch this Indiana team.
I don't hate that at all. The only reason, and we'll just go through their schedule here real quick. And so it goes Iowa, Idaho, which is a win, Cincinnati, Western Kentucky, Penn State, Michigan State, Ohio State, then followed by Maryland, Michigan, Rutgers, Minnesota, and finishes out with Purdue. They have some cupcakes there, but they have some easy wins. But where do you see the wins coming from? Like, are they going to beat Iowa? Are they going to beat, like, you think they're, obviously with what you said, I'm assuming you think that they'll beat Michigan. Will they beat Minnesota too? Will they win? How many of those games will they win of the tougher side there?
So just looking at their schedule, I've got wins against Idaho, Western Kentucky, Michigan State, Maryland, and Rutgers and Purdue. Was that 5?
That's 6.
1? Was that 6? 1, 2, 3, 4. But yeah, that is 6. So I've got 6 wins that I'm giving them. I'm giving them the loss to Ohio State, which leaves 5 games where they really only have to go 2-3. And that's probably most likely. Like, I don't think they'll go 3-2 against Minnesota, Michigan, Penn State, Cincinnati, and Iowa. They probably won't go 3-2, but I think they can go 2-3. I'm not exactly sure which ones I'm picking them to win, but I think they can win any of them. I really do. Last year they beat Penn State. Last year they beat Michigan. I don't recall that they played Minnesota last year. I don't think they did. That's a draw from the opposite division. But Minnesota is one of those teams that could be up, could be down. I like them this year, but again, I'm not comfortable saying that they're absolutely going to beat Indiana. I do think Indiana is a threat to win any of those 5 games.
No doubt. They do have some coin flip games there. For me, yeah, I do. I like Michigan. I really like Minnesota. I think they'll lose that. They're going to lose to. I'm going to stick with 6-6. So, and what the number was it 7.5?
Yeah.
Okay. So I have them, fairly under there. Comfortably under. That could easily turn around, and who knows? Like, it's so hard to know. Like, again, please don't bet on these. We'll tell you the ones that we feel confident in. This is not one of them. Please do not bet on this. But yeah, I'll go under and be scared of that pick.
Sure.